I kind of want to talk today about the home buying process. A lot of people know that I'm a realtor, so I said let me go ahead and put together some tips to help you all out, and I've actually come up with 9 of them. So get some paper, get ready to take some notes, and yeah, here we are. Let's get started. So, home buying process. The first step, number 1, is you want to consult with a lender. A lender is like a bank, an institution, or a credit union that can give you the funds to approve you for the particular loan that you need for the home. That's step number 1. Number 2, you want to find a realtor that you trust. I've had so many horror stories dealing with people in real estate, and that is actually what made me go and get my license. So I'll give you a short story what happened to me. I was looking for a home when I was about 22, 23. The realtor told me to pay for an inspection and to pay for an appraisal. The house was no longer for sale, so there was no need for me to pay for either one. And it actually cost me about $1,000, and I just completely lost it. So, bad business. So you want to make sure that you find the realtor that you trust, which is so key and component to the whole home buying process. You want to make sure that you have someone on your team that you could trust and that can give you the right directions and steps throughout this whole process. Step 3, you want to select properties. So once you find your realtor, they're going to send you a list of properties. So you want to make sure that you schedule times to actually go to the showing of the properties. So some realtors, whoever has the property listed, they have certain dates and times that you will have to be available. So I would say make sure you get those scheduled. That is your third step. Step 4, you now want to view the properties. The properties take a lot of time, but you want to make sure you're looking for the things that you want in a home, and that is very important. You want to make sure you're taking notes, the do's and the don'ts of a home that you want. So you may want a pool. So yeah, make sure you let your realtor know, I have to have a pool, or I must have an open kitchen, or I must have a huge bathroom. These are things to consider when you're buying your home. And my key components was an open kitchen and a big bathroom and closet. Actually, one of my key components was a big master, and that's what I got. In a good community, in a good prime location, meaning I didn't want to be far out from everyone. I didn't want to be in the woods. I wanted to make sure I have some neighbors nearby. I don't care for associations. Some people do, and if you have any questions more about the association, I can give that to you further. Just comment below and I'll make sure I can add that and do another video on what associations are. Step 5, you now want to put down your offer or earnest money, and that is to say that you are serious about this property. So I found the property for a certain amount of money, and I think the earnest money when I submitted the offer was about $3,000. So everybody's earnest money is going to be a different amount. It's just up to whatever the property costs are, and that will be your earnest money. And normally when you submit your earnest money is to the bank. I actually wired it I went to my bank and I had the funds wired over. So you're going to go through the banking process to send the money over, the earnest money. Step 6, now you want to negotiate. Because the price of the property says about $200K, you can probably negotiate and say, okay, I want to buy for $190K. You want to put that in your offer letter as well. Step 7, you want to make sure that you meet all your contract deadlines. So you're going to have to get an inspection. You're going to have to get appraisal. These are things that you have to set up for and be prepared to pay for and actually be available for. So when the inspections, they want to go through the home and tell you what problems the house may or may not have. And that lets you know about drywall. There's a Chinese drywall that you can't have. It's all type of little issues, and the inspection is supposed to clear everything up so you're not just walking into a home blindsided. Step 8 is going to be your loan process. So they're going to draw up a good faith estimate pretty much with all the numbers telling you what it is, like what is your mortgage payment, what is your principal, what is your interest rates, what is your insurance. So all of this is going to have these numbers, but they're just estimate of numbers. So they're your good faith estimate numbers. So it's pretty much a good idea of what you're going to be paying per month. They are also, in this final step 8, they're going to also pull your credit again. So be prepared for that. Make sure you didn't open any new credit cards from the start of this process. You want to keep it right where you were when you started. Do not open any new accounts. Don't even pay anything off. Just leave everything as it is when you start the process. And step number 9, the final step, is the aha moment, the yay moment, the celebration moment. Your closing. Closing is super awesome. It can be tedious. My first closing on my first home took about 30 to 45 minutes. Some people take 3-4 hours. The last home I just purchased only took, you won't believe this, 15 minutes. And I think I set a record. Because closings are pretty much in detail what you are signing your life to. So you want to make sure that you guys go over everything in those contracts, because you are pretty much saying, I'm responsible for this amount, and I'm going to pay on this time, and I'm going to pay on this day, and this is who I'm going to pay to. So you want to make sure that you have everything in order at closing. You want to make sure all your numbers are right. Everybody's getting paid that's supposed to get paid. It's going to show you what the realtors are getting paid. It's going to show you, normally when you're buying, you don't have to worry about that. The seller takes all of that. So yeah, closing is a great thing to be a part of and to make it to. So if you make it to this step, which is the final step, make sure you have your cash to close. Normally to do that, you're going to wire the funds to whatever banking institution they tell you to. The attorney, hopefully you all have an attorney involved. So that is the middleman that pretty much has everything ready for you at closing. Or you can sign at title companies as well. But attorneys are awesome when it comes to closing. Make sure that you have someone that you can rely on and trust. And make sure you have that cash, because sometimes when you are buying, you are going to have to pay closing costs. If not, even more, the merrier for the situation. So guys, these were your 9 steps to help you in closing for your home. I wish you all the best. If you have any more questions, make sure that you comment, share this video with people that you know could find it useful, and yeah, keep it coming. Like, share, and subscribe.